Moving at the speed of the moon here. Let's go right to Pete Sack.
Oh my gosh, we're almost there.
Indianapolis.
We're
go
almost
ahead.
there. There it is. It's totality. This is just amazing. I can't believe I'm able to bring this to you. I'm taking my glasses off for a moment because you can actually look up and see. We're seeing kind of a diamond effect, but we can see the halo. We can see the corona around the sun. The stars are starting to come out. This is just an amazing sight. I just watch for a moment while I gather myself because I'm just in awe of the sight that I'm seeing right now. You can hear behind me, there's several thousand people here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and they're all cheering. An amazing sight. It's almost completely dark out here, and we're in full totality right now. So if you're watching at home and seeing this, you're seeing basically the corona. That's the sun's atmosphere. It's something that's very difficult to see even with the filtered cameras because it tends to block it out. It's too bright. And so right now is an opportunity for scientists to look at that corona and study it. But you can see there's one star that has become visible in the night sky, and I can see a couple of others that have emerged because of totality here. This is, again, it's just an amazing sight to see. There is a little at the bottom, and I'll have to double check and verify this later on. There's like a little red dot, and that has the potential to be what's referred to as a coronal mass ejection. The sun is constantly emitting large amounts of gases, and those CMEs can go sometimes as high as 100,000 miles above what we refer to as the Earth's the sun's surface, even though the sun doesn't have a surface. It's a gas ball. But that's basically the only way that astronomers can observe any part of the corona is when these mass ejections occur. So to be able to see this, again, it's an amazing sight to behold. I just love to be in this atmosphere and everybody cheering this. Now, slowly here over the course of the next few minutes, we're going to be able to see what's referred to as the diamond ring effect. We've been talking about it quite a bit over the past few days. That's when the first of the sun's rays will come out the other side of the sun, basically, and you'll be able to see the sun beginning to return as far as the strength goes. We're slowly going to be seeing the skies brighten here and at the ground, but I can tell you right now the temperatures have dropped, and then the darkness and everything, again, this is just a very stirring sight. I taught astronomy for 3 years at the high school level, and I had an opportunity to explain this to high school students exactly what it is, but words and pictures just don't do it justice when you can see it live, and I wish everybody could experience what I'm able to experience right now. All right, so as we're looking, I can tell you from the west, because of the motion of the moon across the sun to the west, I can already see the skies getting a bit brighter, and we're about to see, there it is, there's the diamond ring effect. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I gotta put the glasses back on because it's a little too dangerous. Even with that diamond ring effect, there's too much light coming through from the sun that will damage the retinas. So right now, there's just a very small sliver. Already starting to see the ground get a little bit lighter, the skies get a little bit lighter as we emerge from this. But this has just been an absolutely amazing sight to see. You can see all the fans are watching in the stands here. They've been anticipating this 3 minutes and 51 seconds. So our 3 minutes and 51 seconds of fame here is over in Indianapolis. And it's already amazing, even just with a sliver. We're at about 99%. How much brighter the ground is and how much brighter the sun is, to the point where if you didn't have the reflective glasses, if you didn't have the eclipse glasses, you wouldn't know there was an eclipse really going on. So it was an amazing sight to see. So we're going to go over a little bit of the science before I send you back here. what's really amazing, and the NASA astronomer that you heard before alluded to it, is it's referred to as the apparent size of the Earth, the Moon and the Sun. And think of it as maybe somebody standing on the beach along Lake Michigan, and they're about 50 miles away from the downtown area, and they look like they're about the same height as the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower. That's what's referred to as apparent size. They both look the same because from your vantage point, they look to be the same size. That's what we're looking at when we're looking up at the sun and the moon. Their apparent size. Because the moon is so much closer, it looks as big as the sun, but the reality is it's about 400 times smaller than the sun. But what's unique is that the moon is also about 400 times closer to the Earth than the sun. And that very strange, very beautiful, extremely coincidental number ratio that we have there is what allowed us to see what we saw today. Just a fantastic solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse, and it's 3 minutes and 51 seconds that I will never forget.
Well,
it's just the images of seeing that are burned in my brain up here, not in my retinas, because I was able to actually take the glasses off and view it in all its glory, Alex.
Well, Pete, let me tell you what a joy it was to have you bring that to us, and we could feel the emotion of you and the crowd and everything there as it went from daylight to darkness and back to daylight, and we appreciate the education, the explanation, and the inspiration that you just gave us with how much this moment means to you and everybody there.
I apologize if I got a little overly emotional there, if I got a little too loud. But the situation got the best of me.
No such thing, Pete.
I am always amazed at the wonders of science, and to be able to witness something so fascinating there. And this is the second time. And again, these will never get old. These will never, ever get old. So, 2045 is a long ways away. I hope I'm around, and if I am, I'm going to make reservations for Montana and the Dakotas, because that's where the next one's going to be in the contiguous United States.
And we know who to put on assignment then in 21 years. And what I also want to say too is
if I'm around,
we got a glimpse of it in a couple of the shots, both from Carbondale and from your site at Indianapolis. But we were mostly looking up and then looking at the people. But I want to have you point out and explain the unique phenomenon of having daylight on the horizon, but darkness where you are in that spot, and that feeling of having it be both at the same time.
It's kind of like almost like a sunrise on steroids. But as opposed to the sun slowly rising, and it takes about 7 minutes for the sun's complete disk to go from the horizon to completely clear it. And this was done in a matter of moments. And because we were in totality, but the cone around us was not, there was still sunlight getting through. And so that allowed for other places, including Illinois, to be able to be still somewhat lit from the sun, even at 94%. Again, the strength of the sun is just absolutely amazing. So at 94% coverage of the moon to the sun, we were still seeing a tremendous amount of light. And that was part of the reflection that we were seeing as the sun began to reflect off of the atmosphere. The rays got refracted, and we were starting to see that light that was coming over the horizon from the west as the sun, as the moon slowly but surely eclipsed the sun. But it was just one of those amazing things to see. We've also heard references, people saying, they saw flowers close from time to time. They heard birds that stopped chirping, and they heard crickets begin to chirp, thinking that it's nighttime. Unfortunately, here in this atmosphere, we're not necessarily going to experience all of that.
Right.
But just to see and hear the people's reaction, knowing that they too were bearing witness to such an amazing sight was just as good as witnessing what occurs in Mother Nature when one of these things happens.
And I want to know more about that, Pete, because we saw your emotion and really enjoyed the emotion that you brought to us, and we could hear the cheer of the crowd, both in Carbondale and where you are in Indianapolis. Can you tell me, from what you saw and heard, other reactions just in your immediate vicinity? Because there's probably some first-timers, maybe some second- and third-timers like yourself who have seen this before. What was the human reaction around you?
It was interesting because after I kind of gathered myself there and started talking about some of the things that I was seeing and witnessing around, the crowd was pretty quiet. They were kind of taking it all in because, and it was, I was having to tell the directors, as far as me being on camera, I'm like, be prepared to take other cameras because I'm not looking at the camera.
Right.
I'm going to be looking up.
No, we wouldn't.
I did not want
you
to miss this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way a lot of other people were at the moment. I did see a few cameras out trying to record the event because actually at that point you could take a picture of the corona, the total eclipse, and you could do it safely on your camera. The light was just too diffuse and it was not bright enough that you could safely take that picture. So I did see quite a few cameras out, but I think there was just looking around, I just saw a lot of people just absorbing it, taking it in, because as I alluded to before also when I taught astronomy, you could show these pictures. I could show these pictures to anyone and say, yeah, this is what I saw, and they'll go, wow, that's really cool. But to be here and stand here and witness it from start to finish is something that pictures will never be able to do justice. And I apologize for to the people of Chicago who were not able to witness totality like we were. I did my best to bring it to you in words and images, but again, my words and my images just do not do the scenario justice for what we just saw here.
No, just a heck of a job. And Pete, I got to ask you real quick. I know you have the recency bias maybe of this one. Can you pick a favorite from any of the eclipses?
I'm sorry, you're kind of...
Can you pick a favorite
kind of
eclipse?
Cutting out here, Alex.
It is your third. Can you pick a favorite?
This one would probably be it, because I tell you, when we were in Carbondale, the clouds were kind of moving in and out. I was not able to witness it from start to finish like I was with this one.
All right.
And when I was in Peoria, that was an annular eclipse. So even though during totality, if you will, there was a ring around the moon from the sun that was strong enough that you still needed glasses.
That's great.
This
Pete,
one,
we're so glad
no glasses, just the naked eye, and it was a beautiful sight to see.
And we're so glad that you brought it to us, Pete. We loved every minute of it. Thank you, sir, for all your education today.